Morning, I want to read from the book of Hebrews 4:12 to 13. That says, "For the word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword, cutting between soul and spirit, between joint and marrow. It exposes our innermost thoughts and desires. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God. Everything is naked and exposed before His eyes, and He is the one to whom we are accountable." And today, I'm just grateful for my family, my wife, my children, you know, grateful for my friends, just grateful for life, happy to be here, to be able to just even speak to you guys this morning. So this particular verse is a is a very powerful verse, a very powerful and a strong verse for us to like realize and understand, right? Because basically what the author is saying here is he's telling us that we can't hide anything from God, you know? And like you can't be ashamed when you're dealing with God. Because what he says here is he says the the word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than a sharp two-edged sword, cutting between soul and spirit. Like you when you fully understand and fully think about the fact that God sees and knows all, you know, a lot of times you wouldn't go to him with the insecurities that you do, or you wouldn't go to him pretending, or like, because you really can't pretend to God. If you wanted to, you can't. You can't pretend to be a good person to God. You could pretend to be a good person to man. You could pretend to be whoever you is to your peers and to your friends and to your family. But at the end of the day, God is see you as a naked creature. And when they say naked, when the author refers to being naked, he doesn't just mean like, from a physical standpoint. He means from a spiritual standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. Like he sees who you really are, you know? And that's why I think that when he said that it's like a two-edged sword, like it cuts you deep if you think about it, because you, the way that you treat people, God sees that, And I mean, it could be the smallest thing, whether it be the person that you help, you know what I mean, or whether it be the person that you hurt, But He sees all of this, Ain't nothing that you do is done in secret from Him. And when you know and when you understand that principle in your concept, you tend to do better. And I think that that was the whole purpose of when the author was speaking to his audience, reminding them of that, you know, that you already exposed, whether you try to see it or not. And at the end of the day, the author ended this particular verse with something very powerful, right? He says, "Everything is naked and exposed before his eyes, and he is the one that we are accountable to." And see, to me, that was the most important line in this entire verse. Because when you're dealing with people, again, see, the people who you pretend to be so and so in front of, like, you ain't accountable to them. So to be honest with you, like, their opinion don't matter. Like, someone that you ain't accountable to, it doesn't matter whether they think you is a good or a bad person, because you ain't accountable to them. You only accountable to God. It does not matter what the next person thinks of you. If you, because humans is so finicky. If you do good, they can complain. If you do bad, they can complain. So that's why God didn't make us accountable to each other, because He already know we initially flawed. You know, so just be mindful at the end of the day that who we are is who we are, and who we are is who God sees. So just go out there this week, y'all, and just do good in the sight of the Lord. Just do good in the sight of Him, because only Him we accountable for. We accountable to. We aren't accountable to anybody else. So thank you everyone for the opportunity to speak. And Carrie, I probably taken off early this morning, and I would like to my mic.